Hello students, welcome back to the biology class. We are continuing with the chapter reproduction in organism, and today's topic is sexual reproduction. The features of sexual reproduction, it is biparental, means involvement of two parents, male and female. Number two, it involves the formation of male and the female gametes, either by the same individual or by the different individual of opposite sex. Opposite sex means male and female. It involves meiosis. Meiosis means the reductional division, which plays a very important role during the formation of the gametes. Gametes fuse to form the first diploid cell, that is the zygote, which develops to form the new offspring, and the process is known as fertilization. The offsprings, they are not identical to the parents in the sexual reproduction. It leads to the variation, and this variation plays a very important role, very vital role, very significant for the process of evolution. So if you want to compare the sexual reproduction from the asexual reproduction, in asexual we discussed that it is uniparental, whereas in a sexual reproduction it is biparental. There is no formation and fusion of male and the female gametes, but in the sexual reproduction there is a formation as well as the fusion of the male and the female gametes. That involves the mitosis, and the sexual reproduction that involves the meiosis. The offsprings of the asexuals, they are identical, known as the clones, but they are not identicals, and this shows the variation. So this is the difference between the asexual and the sexual reproduction. Now this flowchart we will again discuss about the sexual reproduction. As it shows the biparental, that is male and the female parent, and this 2n indicates the diploid of the parent, and they undergoes the formation of the gamete, that is the N, by the process of the meiosis, means the reductional division, and that reductional division gives the half the number of the chromosomes in the gamete. Gamete is always the haploid, and the parent may or may not be haploid or diploid. After the formation of the gamete, the male and the female gamete, they undergoes the fusion. The process is known as fertilization, and they form the first single diploid cell, that is the zygote, and it is always the ploidy of the zygote is 2n. Now it undergoes the mitosis to form the child and then to the adult. So this is the complete phenomena of your sexual reproduction. All the living organisms during their lifetime, they undergoes the three phases. That is, number one is your juvenile phase, or it may be the growth phase, or it may be the vegetative phase. This phase represents the period of growth of organism from the birth up to reaching the reproductive maturity, and during this phase, this is called also known as the pre-reproductive phase, in which the growth and the development of the organism takes place, and this is variable in the different organism. The second is the reproductive phase. The end of the juvenile phase marks the beginning of the reproductive phase, and during this period the life of organism from its attainment of the reproductive maturity to the sexual till the beginning of the loss of ability of reproduce, means it is as soon as the vegetative phase is going to be end, and the functioning of the reproductive organs that going to be start, and that can be indicate the process or the phase of the reproductive, and it will continue till the organism is reproducing. For example, in case of the plants, if there is a formation of the flower, that means the reproductive phase of the plant is being started, because flower is being known as the reproductive part. The last phase is the senescent phase. It is a post-reproductive phase, and during that phase, the various metabolic activities are not functioning properly, and this is also being known as the aging. So it is a period in the life of organism between the end of the reproductive phase, and that can lead to the death of the organism. So these are the three phases which are starting from the birth, juvenile, followed by the reproductive phase, and then it is the senescent phase. So the events in the sexual reproduction which we will discuss there, that is number one is pre-fertilization, then fertilization, and then there is a post-fertilization. Pre-fertilization includes gametogenesis and gamete transfer. What do you mean by gametogenesis? It involves the formation of two haploid reproductive units that is called as the gametes. So the formation of the gametes, the process is known as gametogenesis. When male and the female gametes, they are similar to each other, that is called as homogametes or isogametes. And when the male and the female gametes are morphologically distinct, means they are not similar, they are being known as the heterogametes. Among the heterogametes, the male reproductive unit is called as anthrozoites or sperm, and the female reproductive unit is called as egg or ovum. The process of formation of the male gamete or the male reproductive unit is called as spermatogenesis, and the formation of the female gamete or the female reproductive unit is known as oogenesis. So the formation of the gametes, that is known as the gametogenesis, and they are always haploid in nature. So a single organism bearing both male and the female sex gamete is called as homothallic or the monoecious. As you must be knowing about the unisexual and the bisexual organism, unisexual or the bisexual flower means the bisexual flowers are those which are having both the male and the female in the same plant or in the same flower, and the unisexual are those which are having a different male and the female reproductive. So similarly, a single organism bearing both male and the female sex gametes, that is called as homothallic or the monoecious. For example, coconut, and that is also being known as the bisexual organism or bisexual plant. The organism in which the different individual carry male and the female sex organ, they are called as the heterothallic or that is called as the dioecious. For example, papaya, marchantia, or you can say the unisexual plants. So that is a very simple way to remember. If both the male and the female sex organ present in one, so that is mono, and if they are being present in two different plants, so that is called as the di. Similarly, in case of the animals, they may be unisexual, they may be bisexual. For example, the human beings, they are the unisexual, in which the male and female, they are morphologically distinguished. Whereas in some of the animals, they are bearing both the sexes, that is called as the bisexual or hermaphrodite. The example is earthworm, sponges, tapeworm, and leech. These are the few images of showing the isogamy and the heterogametes. So this is the example of your isogametes, in which both the gametes, they are of the same shape, size and function. Whereas the figure B, that shows that is the female gamete is of a larger size as compared to the male gametes, and that is not of the same shape and size, so they are called as a heterogametic. Similarly, in the C, that is the ovum, that is your female gamete, and the sperm, that is your male gamete. Again, they are not of the same shape and size and function, because here the male gamete is motile and this is stationary, and mostly the female gametes, they are the stationary, they are the static, whereas the male gamete, they are the motile and small in size. Cell division during gamete formation. Gametes are always haploid, as we have already discussed. In haploid organism, Gametes are produced by the equational cell division, that is mitotic division, whereas in diploid organism they undergoes the reductional division, that is meiosis, in special cells called myocytes to form the gametes. So gametes, whether that is haploid organism or diploid organism, they always form the haploid. So gametes are always haploid. At the end of both the divisions, only one set of the chromosomes get incorporated into each gamete. That is the zygote. Now we come to the second phase of the pre-fertilization, that is your gamete transfer. As the gametes are being formed, naturally they have to be fused with each other. So for the fusion, physically they should be brought together, and that is being done with the various processes. So male gametes are usually motile, whereas the female are static, stationary. In lower plants, like some algae and fungi, both male and the female gametes are motile. So this is again a one-word question. You have to give the example of those particular plants in which both male and the female, they are motile, because usually the male is motile and the female is stationary. In some plants like algae, bryophytes, pteridophyte, water acts as a medium for the gamete transfer. So this is one of the medium by which the male and the female, they will brought together. But in angiosperm, which is known as the higher flowering plant, the pollen grains, which are being known as the male gametes, they are transferred from the anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower, where the ova is being formed by the pollinating agent, and the process is known as pollination. So this is a very important phenomena or the process by which the gametes are being transferred. So the males are motile and the females are stationary. So these are the review questions. Go through them and try to find out the answers. If any queries, you can contact me. So for this, thank you and goodbye.